tell you, and y'all will already know, but this will be my first YouTube video, and the challenges of learning how to video your daily life to portray a story that's interesting is quite the process. You know, I've made these videos here, driving around thinking about this, trying to tell you about my day. I'm trying to get through my day so that I get back to the house and get in the shop and work on the car, because we gotta leave tomorrow afternoon to go to Mansalona, Michigan again to race. And I have, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours of maintenance and work to do to the car this afternoon. So I'm just trying to get some things done, but these are the thoughts I have while I cruise through the day here and try to video it for the great world of YouTube. It's pretty interesting. I've done short form, right? I think everybody that will see these videos for the first time will understand that, like, I've always been on social media, and I've always been a little bit of, like, action shot and pretty simple caption social media guy. And so going to long form YouTube is a different idea, different pace for me, and we're here for it. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna see what happens. Good morning, everybody. Got to go into work. It's about 6 o'clock this morning. We have about a 25-minute drive. On my way to work, I don't really mind the drive. It takes 25 to 28 minutes each day. It gives me some time to kind of wake up, transition my mind into kind of work mode, think about the day, think about things that need to be done, think about issues that are going on in the business. On the road right down there. This is maybe it's more like 40 feet up here down to the road. I've just got to deal with some real bullshit. Actually, it's pretty much every day. So here we are today. Some rear wheel seal action on one of our work trucks. Just got to do it. Let me tell you what. I drove all the way across town to drop off some t-shirts at this screen printer I want to use, and they're closed. This is what it is. I have to bring them over here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. So, finally made it out to the shop. We have a handful of things we got to do to the car before we leave for Mansalona tomorrow afternoon. Some of it is just clutch cleaning and clutch adjustment. I've kind of gotten into a habit of putting a brand new belt in my car before every race. I don't know if I need to be that extreme about it anymore, but we're gonna take this apart, inspect it, and go from there. So excuse my little bit of a mess here, but I have a little bit of a process that, I'll be honest, I don't think that anybody else is doing. And so it might be a pretty solid little secret that I'm about to divulge. Anyways, long story short, I put my clutches, this, you can see there's 2 parts to the primary or the secondary clutch here. I run these suckers through my ultrasonic cleaner. All right, so this is how this comes out.
This has been cooking in there for 30 minutes. This water's a little warmer than bath water. I put a little special concoction of soap in there, but basically your clutches just come out super, super clean. The best clutching right there. Ibex, y'all. And so I'm gonna dry this off. Go to the next one. I have a theory with this side of it because of these, hard plastic rollers, that I don't turn the temperature up as high for this one. So just part of it, I guess. You can kind of see that crud already floating out of there. Y'all can probably hear that ultrasonic cleaner cooking over there. I've got the primary pulled off my car now, and it's in there. When it gets out, I'm going to show you guys my primary clutch. There's some real top secret things in there, right? So don't be telling everybody what you're about to see. So I have this idea that my car, well, let me back up a little bit. My car doesn't currently, this moment in time, really rip off the bottom like in a whole shot situation. Partially I think it's because of the air-to-air intercooler that I put on it. It just takes a little bit longer for all that boost to build up. But I think the clutching could be part of it. So I'm removing a little bit of heel weight to kind of free up, loosen up those first few 1,000 RPM, and see if I can't kind of get it building boost, get it on the turbo a little faster than we were last race. We'll see. Theory might be sound, might totally suck. We'll see what happens. So I've kind of finished this deal up now. Start reinstalling it. There's a million clutch videos out there that can kind of teach you the basics about this type of clutch and how to put it together and different things. So I won't really get into that. If for some reason, people watch this and want that, I wouldn't consider myself to be like a clutching guru. I'm learning all the time. I'm constantly fiddling. I work with Ibex. Ibex is now, a sponsor to my racing program, right? So I'm hoping I can really learn and brainstorm with them over the years and become more of a pro. But anyways, long story short, if someone wanted to hear my information, I guess I'd tell it. Never really know, though. Here's the fun part, trying to get this deal put back together. That right there, that's a fail. That's like almost the exact opposite of what you want to happen. I thought I had that deal started, and I did not. I guess to further explain why that's a bad deal is like when you get the bolt in there on that one thread or half a thread, and it pops off like that, it's basically tearing that thread out of there and damaging the threads. So don't really want to do that. You hear that? I think you guys heard it. Click. 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 Ready. And just like that, it's back together. Let's check it out. Like so much about racing is just trial and error. I've fiddled with this clutch air supply tube for years, right? And if you know anything about these UTVs, they usually have like this box that has frog skin on it, and air comes in there and it goes out, and the clutches move the air and so on and so forth. And you can leave that on there. I can't do that anymore due to changes of the cage and stuff like that. I've run the little filters that go, you can put over the inlet down there. I found that they don't really allow the air that you need. I've run this tube with nothing on top, but then I found that it allows dirt down in the clutches, and I hate the idea of having dirt down in there. I don't know. Some guys will just run open clutch covers, and I can't do that. That doesn't jive with me. So I got a little frog skin on the top of mine here. I'll attach it down there. This will keep the sand and stuff out of it for this weekend, and I think we got a good thing going here. Well, I think it's ready. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Got some of that good stuff here. So we're finally loaded up here on the road. Gonna drive about 3 or 4 hours tonight, northern Indiana or so. Go the rest of the way tomorrow. Don't have to be to the racetrack until I
I think the gates open at noon or something like that. I don't know, something like that. So we finally made it over here to Mansalona after what seemed like a 10-day journey. But got the car unloaded, getting the trailer set up. We got people here. It's gonna be a fun day. Weather's not too hot. We'll just see if this whole blue cow looking thing can put down some power, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If anything, to be honest with you, today's more of a shakedown. More of a shakedown for Midwest Dirt Fest next weekend. That's gonna be a more competitive, kind of a bigger stage to compete on. So pretty excited about that. Practice. Not a lot of cars out there today. It seems like numbers are dwindling here at this little series. We need to raise awareness so we can keep these little series that are super fun going. It seems like every one of them I've ever been a part of, it's just they slowly dwindle and dwindle. So get out there and tell our friends.
And I've got the green. Wow, 3-1-1 is having some fun, man. It's going to be a wild one, guys. After this race, we'll throw a little water on the track, guys. But right now, they're rolling. Is out. Here they come.
So it's Sunday morning. Finally got back from Mansalona last night about 3 in the morning, I think. But got a lot to do. What car recap for us here? The car is strong. Man, clutching was on a rip. Car was making a lot of power. But for some reason I've had since you guys don't know, I'll recap a little bit even further back. For the last few years, ever since I removed the radiator from the front of my car to the back of my car to keep dirt out of it from overheating and such, the car's overheated as I've pushed the car. As I've grown as a driver, I've always bumped up against the same issue, the car overheating. So yesterday, I felt really, really good in the car, and the car was really fast, handled really good. But we were running into overheating. So we get out of the heat race, we get through the heat race, got second in the heat race, and get the car cooled down, get the radiator cap off of it. The radiator's low. When this car is not just completely full of fluid, it's absolutely full, it overheats. So it was a little bit low, so we went to filling it. But the problem is that whenever it gets a little bit low, it gets air in it, and sometimes it just stops pumping. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a design on these things, but everything's above the pump, but still it captures air in there. So I got this little contraption, I think you've seen them on drag cars before, but it's basically, it attaches to the top of the radiator cap. You fill it with fluid, you run the car, it starts burping it out and sucking it up as it needs it. And so we went to doing that. We got the car fairly full, it seemed like, but the car also threw a check engine light. And I don't really know what it's for. The diagnostics say unknown error, call your dealer, things like that. Anyways, got the car full of coolant, cleaned up, took it out on the road, gave it some rips. It had full power, so we decided to go out in the heat race. The heat race was wild. I mean, I won't lie, I made some driver errors. At the start, we were all pretty bunched up. I kind of crowded the guy next to me. I kind of feel bad about that. For some reason, I thought that I was getting crowded on the other side, but I really wasn't. I watched back on the video and I wasn't. And I was crowding him, and long story short, I feel bad about it. But it was fast, right? My little Pro XP out there with a bunch of Maverick R's on, some of them on 35-inch tires. It doesn't seem like they're quite the same classic car at times, but we were running in 4th, 5th, something like that, and I had to get around this one Maverick R, and he kept kind of like jumping the berms, like back in the line and stuff like that, and getting hung up on the berms, and he'd like get back in the line, and it was kind of a deal. And he did this 4 or 5 times, and I'm getting in the line, getting next to him, and then he's just driving right over the front of me, just not even, no regard. Like, I'd have to get on the brakes, or he was gonna run over my front tire, like I said, 4 or 5 times. And so finally he got a little even more wilder after I'd, put some pressure on him for some time, and I get down there right next to him. Well, he comes back up over the berm of this corner and like lands right on me. So here we are, tangled up, kind of going down the straight a little ways. He's like, there's a split lane in the track. He's like on the split lane, off the split lane, like trying to drive up over me. Finally, he realizes he's on top of me and I'm not getting out of the way. So it tears up the side of my car. I'll show you guys a little bit about that. He ends up dropping out of the race. My car goes into limp mode, like lap 4 out of 6 laps. I got a pretty healthy lead on 4th place. I'm in 3rd now, and I'm like 100 yards from the finish, and I blow a belt. Car was in limp mode. I was like floored for 2 laps. Just all the power it gave me, like 6,500 RPMs. The car's just super slow. You can't get out of the throttle. It's just, you got to keep it wound up. Blow a belt like 100 yards from the finish. DNF that deal, but learning more and more about the car. When the car runs, it's so fast, it's so good, but it's what it is. So this is where I got tangled up with that Maverick R. You can see it kind of really ate into the corner of this deal. I mean, that's how tall the tire is on that Maverick R comparatively to my tire. So I mean, we're like big, like 35-inch tires compared to these 27-inch Hoosiers, so not super good. And then I got a little more road rash on this side from in the start. This gentleman, it was not his fault. I would say it was my fault. It's on the door there too a little bit. You can see just right there, but really kind of bashed around out. I've spoke to this before, but when you're making your first YouTube video, there's definitely some challenges. And right now, I'm wandering down that path